All right, wonderful people. Welcome back to this wonderful channel where we'll bring you back-to-back update and information as the hot. In case you have not joined our social media handle, what are you waiting for? Kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, and also remember to on your notification button so that whenever our news drop, you will be the first. We go collect them. Let's go down to the news proper. As the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is about to make a remarkable move to change a lot of things about Biafra as he moves to drop his lawyers and defend himself in the court of law. Let's go down to the full detail of that particular information. I know that it is a day everybody is anticipating. Everybody awaits that particular day to know what is actually going to happen as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be defending himself live in the court of NIG. I know it's going to be a tough day where he's going to show them as it should be. Of course, you know that the Nigerian government has so much a long time boycott justice and have always been biased when it comes to giving the right justice. That has been the case with the NIG judiciary. But Kanu is here to change the narrative. All right, as it be, the family of the indigenous people of Biafra leader Nnamdi Kanu has revealed plans to defend himself in court when his trial resumes on March 21st. This was disclosed in a statement released on Tuesday by Kanu's younger brother Emmanuel Kanu on behalf of the family. According to the statement, Kanu decided to represent himself to ensure a fair hearing without legal delays that have hindered his case. The statement reads, on Friday, 21st March 2025, when the trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu resumes before Justice James Omotoso at the Federal High Court, Abuja, he will be taking the bold step of defending himself in court. His development signals a critical juncture in the case that has already exposed deep-seated concerns about the Nigerian judiciary handling of matters tied to the legitimate agitation of Biafra self-determination. The absence of the traditional regal representation will dismantle the usual as my lord pleases constraints that govern judicial proceedings in Nigeria that has for decades allowed the court to brazenly subvert the course of justice under a cloak of difference that shield rather than expose injustice. The very foundations of the institutional bias that has long plagued the case will be laid bare for the world to see. This decision by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu comes on the heels of successful forcing the recuser of Justice Binta Nyako, who brazenly defied the Supreme Court of Nigeria through her delective implementation of the termination contained in their judgment. She was hell-bent on convicting a person for exercising a right that the law of Nigeria stated unambiguously that he could. It added, the handling of this case by the federal government has been marred by prejudice and unfairness from day one. Onyendu's shift to self-defense underscores our distrust in a system perceived to be stacked against us and the cause he champions. It also places an immense burden on Justice Omotosho to uphold the principles of fair hearing, fair trial, and the rule of law, principles that have too often been undermined in his politically charged sham trials. The world is watching. Any failure by Justice Omotosho to ensure justice is not only done but seen to be done will further erode confidence in judiciary already criticized for its selective application of the law. The stakes could not be higher, and the implication of this trial extends far beyond the courtroom. His trial has now been reassigned to Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court in Abuja. This comes after Justice Binta Nyako, who had previously handled the case, stepped down following an earlier court order. Kanu has strongly objected to her attempt to continue presiding over the matter during his last court appearance. Since June 2021, Kanu has been held in solitary confinement at Department of State Service headquarters in Abuja following his controversial arrest and extradition from Kenya. All right. It is a day that everybody is anticipating, and a lot is going to happen that day, because it's going to be a tough one for Justice Omotosho, for Mazen Nandekano, for to stand and decide that he is going to defend himself by himself. It shows that the case has gone out of hand. Meanwhile, on another information, NJC dismisses report of Nnamdi Kanu's release, repatriation, Mobad. All right, okay, let's go to that information. The National Judicial Council has denied report that Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, has been released and repatriated to Kenya. In a statement, the NCJ called the report false and clarified that no such court decision or order was issued by the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudrat Ekere Ekun. Kanu is still facing a 7-count terrorism charge and remain in the custody of the Department of State Service in Nigeria. His trial is scheduled to continue on the 21st of March 2025 at the Federal High Court in Abuja. All right, I wish you are going to be there to witness how it is going to be live. Everybody is anticipating to see what is going to be the outcome of this case between Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, and the federal government. And it is going to be a tough one for Justice Omotosho, for Kanu to be standing on that dock, defending himself by himself without any of his legal team. I don't know if it is actually going to be tough for Omotosho, or whether it is going to be tough for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu himself, for being there to defend himself. I don't think it is going to be that easy. Seeing how biased the justice system is, it is not going to be an easy race. But we pray that Chukwu Okike Abiama will help him, strengthen him, and also stand by him in order to be able to come out with better judgment that particular day. The 21st tomorrow, and everybody is anticipating. People like us, we are going to be there live to see what is actually going to happen at that court. All right, as it be, country of particular concerns, EPA-led group backs U.S. Congress. Let's go to that information. The Simon Ekpa Biafra Republic government in exile has backed the United States of America Congress call on President Donald Trump to designate Nigeria as a country of particular concern, CPC, due to alleged widespread persecution of Christians. Record that lawmakers of the U.S. House Foreign Affairs Subcommittee on Africa during a meeting on March 12, 2025 urged Trump to impose sanctions. Committee Chairman Chris Smith, RNJ, spoke on the severity of the crisis, referencing first-hand testimony from Bishop Wilfred Anagbe of the Diocese of Makurdi, Nigeria. The subcommittee noted that Nigerians constituted 90% of Christians killed worldwide annually, citing a 2024 report by the Observatory for Religious Freedom in Africa showing out of the 555,910 people killed between October 2019 and September 2023, 21,000 of them were abducted in the context of terror group. Make no mistake, all these attacks are based on religion, as I said, and diverting attention from it denies what we have seen with our own eyes. This religious cleansing needs to stop, and the perpetrators be brought to justice, the report noted. Also, the Global Persecution Index has placed Nigeria among the deadliest countries for Christians. The development has sparked reaction in Nigeria, the federal government rejecting the call. Reacting, Ogechukwu Nkere, known as the acting Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, hailed the U.S. Congress, stressing that it was on point. In its recommendation for sanction against Nigeria, Nkere, in a statement through his official X account, claimed that the call was a result of BRIG lobbying at the U.S. Congress. He wrote, the Biafra Republic government in exile, acting Prime Minister Nkere, has several private discussions on the sidelines of the hearing with the following House Foreign Affairs Committee members of Congress: Rep. Pramilia Japal, DWA, Rep. James Bird, RN, and Rep. Jonathan Jackson, DL. During the hearing, many members of the committee recommended that Nigeria be a country of particular concern, paving the way for the Trump administration to enact such a policy. BRIG, through its lobbying firm, has engaged actively with the House Foreign Affairs Committee and the Africa Subcommittee over the past month, especially its chairman. The BRIG has strongly recommended to its congressional counterpart the need for congressional hearing and for Nigeria to be reassigned as a country of a particular concern, CPC. While the BRIG considers the hearing a demonstration of the effectiveness of its lobbying campaign, it considers a CPC designation as simply a first step and will push further for Congress to take action regarding the Biafra issue specifically. The Biafra Republic government in exile be the only legal entity recognized by U.S. State Department of Justice for Biafra independence has taken a significant diplomatic leap forward following a series of high-level engagement with U.S. senators and congresspersons in Washington, D.C. All right, this is where I'll be winding down the curtain, and if this is your first time of joining us, kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, and also remember to on your notification button so that whenever our news drop, you go be the first we'll collect them. Thank you for listening. God bless you. Oh, men, we say na them be the men. They say who say men no they say men no they. Who say men no they say men no they. They say who be the man where they say na the Yoruba. That the man of the BLA laugh say make they go check the men where they shout. Who say men no they say make they know the people where be men kwano. And the people will not be men. Now they enter. No be say, oh, they say this one, and them carry themselves, enter these people will be back with them camp. They say, when a goat see lion, that one a wrong goat, suppose long. But this goat, where they call it back, now they see lion, they say, may they start know what the lion go do. Now lion enter there. Contia goat waiting no good though. Now the information we drop for my table now. Of course, you know. I'm talking in parable. I'm not supposed to tell you what happened there. But as I tell you, you already know say woto. No be child business. If you see your big brother way pass you, what you supposed to do? Now to greet and good morning, brother. If you see your senior sister will pass you, what you supposed to do? Not to greet her good morning, sister. Na pikin wey get a strong head, go see him big brother will pass am. Where you know say senior you well, you know greet her. No be come, king go come, in go knock your head now. They say the men of the BIA, they go see their junior brothers wey be bag go. They no greet the good morning. And they use their groundnut, knock their head, waiting no good. I hear say, as they knock the boys' head with granules, now run, they run. They say they even run, leave their uniform. They run, leave their own ngwongwo. All right. Whether the devil likes it or not, the nation must stand because the progression has already started, and hard work has already taken place. The people of Biafra have already started working hard, even though that the enemy is trying to bring division in between the parties to divide the house. They say divide the house and everybody will start at it. Hand a house standing against itself cannot form. Even Jesus said that, and that is what the enemy has seen, and is trying to plant some weed into where they planted the straw. So. But Chukwokike Abiyama, who created the people of the heavens and the earth, he will not allow his people to be shamified or to be ashamed, because we know that whatever that is currently going on now, whatever division it is, we know that very soon everybody will come to their senses and they will come together. By the time Obatobie will be out, because from the kepu where we dey hear so far, we say Obatobie in don dey conclude some cases, because you know that some people are asking, why is Obatobie not speaking? Why has he not addressed the people that the ban on him, his restriction ban, has been removed? And why has he not addressed the people? But you know, when it comes to government, there is what is called diplomatic matters and diplomatic ways and means of handling cases. And what is happening is that Obatobie and the rest of the inner caucus, even the lawyers, are applying diplomacy. There are some things you don't come out to say on social media when it comes to a government. You know, when this government was still forming, was still becoming a government, you know, they were still, strategizing. But now it has become a government. It is not everything that, insiders will now come and broadcast. There are some things, they keep as, as a confidential information in order not to allow the enemy to invade. Because as a nation, there are some information that you leak, it will jeopardize your security system. It will jeopardize your hierarchy system. It will jeopardize a lot of things in that government. That's why you find that government are usually diplomatic most of the times. There are some things that will be happening in a nation. The nation might not tell you that this is actually what is happening. They tend to conceal it, they tend to keep it to themselves until they arrive to a good conclusion. And that is when they will, break the news to the public. But if you break an unripe news to the public or an unconcluded information to the public, of course, you have already, given the public, an opportunity to salivate. And when they are salivating and you do not quench their thirst with what they want to hear and what they want to happen, and you yourself as a leader, you will be in trouble. So that is why in a government are usually very diplomatic in handling their information. There are some information that you might be waiting for that might not come as at the time you want it. It comes when the government wants to release the information. And that's what is actually happening in the case of Obatobie as it is. All right. Police inspector dies from self-inflicted gunshot in Ogun State. This one is happening in Ogun State. A police inspector has died from self-inflicted gunshot in Ogun State. Now, I wonder why a policeman will inflict himself with gunshot. I've always said this thing, even though it's an accident, I'll still bring you the information, full information. But it is important that when these people are employing forces, when it comes to forces, armed forces, police and the rest of them, their mental psyche should be tested. Their psychological ability, capacity should be tested. You should be able to know whether these people are capable of doing this job. I'm saying it not because of what happened to this police inspector, but in general. If you apply the NIG road, going from Abia State to Port Harcourt, going from Port Harcourt to Imo State, going from Imo State to Anambra State, going from Anambra State to Enugu State, going from Abia State to Calabar, or places like this, or Port Harcourt to Calabar, you see the kind of police checking point as if they are fighting war. From Imo State to Port Harcourt, you might be able to see not less than 13 to 20 police checking points in that short distance. And sometimes I wonder, what are these people doing? What are their responsibility? They are not there for stop and search. Rather, they are there for collecting money, even sometimes in the hot sun. And when that sun have entered their head and their brain, you see them, making an effort to even do something that is not necessary for a policeman to do, which is very, 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 very wrong. And this is where the government should look into. And this mass of police checking points are there, and the act of criminality are still being perpetuated along some of this road. And the question is, if these police checking points, heavy police checking points are there, why are there still the issue of kidnap? That someone will drive by to go to his house or is going somewhere, and the next thing you hear is that the person has been kidnapped. The question is, who is doing the work? And what are these police people doing? Is their work just there to be collecting money? All right, let's go to that information so that you can see as it be. Tragedy struck at a ceramic company in Igbesa, Ogun State, as a police inspector, Ajele Oloyede, reportedly died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound at his duty post. The incident, which occurred on Thursday, was discovered by an officer from Force Headquarters, Annex Lagos Torojurojun, Stephen, who had returned from Ikeja around 1:20 p.m. According to the Ogun State Police Public Relations Officer, Omoloya Odutola, the late officer, was stationed at the company as part of its security details. Stephen, upon arriving at the security office, found Oyede resting his head on a table. When asked about his condition, the inspector assured his colleague that he was fine. Odutola explained that Stephen then placed his bag and pistol on the table before stepping into the restroom. Moments later, a gunshot was heard, she stated. Upon rushing back, Stephen reportedly found Oloyede lying in a pool of blood. With the help of private security personnel, the wounded officer was immediately rushed to Ota General Hospital, but he was later pronounced dead by the doctor on duty, Odutola said. Following the tragic incident, police officers visited the scene, recovered the disease service pistol, and deposited his body at Ota General Hospital for an autopsy. The police spokesperson confirmed that the case will be transferred to the State Criminal Investigation Department (SCID) Elewerem for further investigation. His family has been notified, and a full investigation is now underway to determine the circumstances surrounding the incident, Odutola added. All right. But also looking at this case from the other side, he was with another police officer and he inflicted himself with a pistol. Could it be that his fellow policeman? I don't know what you want to hear from my mouth, but could it be, allegedly, allegedly, could it be that, All right, be that as it may, this is where me myself go to wind down the curtain. I will saw while in case not the first time when you join us, kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share. Thank you for listening. God bless you.